In the description box below this video is a link where you can download my Excel spreadsheet for week 7 of college football, which starts on October 8th and goes to Saturday, October 11th, 2025. The spreadsheet has statistical embedding trends for all 136 college football teams. So go to the description box below the video, click the link, and it will take you to my Google Drive, where you can download this Excel spreadsheet. Go to File, Download, and Microsoft Excel. You can also download an Open Office version, a PDF version also. I recommend downloading the Microsoft Excel version. This way you can take advantage of the full features of the spreadsheet, and you can make changes to the spreadsheet. So download the Excel spreadsheet. Also in the description box, underneath the link for the Excel spreadsheet, is another link which takes you to a PDF file. And this PDF file has a glossary, short glossary, which explains key terms: football power index, SP plus rating, TeamRankings power ratings, margin of victory, ATS against the spread, ATS plus minus. And it also provides the links that I talk about in this video. So first, let's go to the spreadsheet. So here is a big picture view of the spreadsheet. Do not panic. We will go through each column one at a time, step by step. So as a big picture overview, it has statistical embedding trends for the whole season for all 136 college football teams. And the first grouping here is from ESPN, and they're related to ESPN's power rating, football power index. The second group has data and statistics also from ESPN, but specifically from a writer, Bill Conley, who calculates his own power ratings and statistics. And the final grouping comes from TeamRankings. Okay, so that gives you an overview. Now let's zoom in. So one of the things I want to show you is this. If you look, the top 2 rows are the headers, and I've fixed them so that they stay on your screen as you scroll up and down. Also, the first column is also fixed. The first 2 columns are also fixed so that when you scroll, you can see the team. So let me show you a very important feature of the spreadsheet. And if you look in the yellow box, the yellow boxes at the top, there's a little arrow in the lower right corner of each box. This allows you to sort that column. For example, here you click the arrow and you can sort the teams alphabetically. So this spreadsheet is sorted by the names of the teams. We can flip that. We can go back to A to Z. If you're interested in conferences, you can sort by conference. So this comes into play when you're looking at statistical numbers. For example, in the power ratings, if you want to see who has the highest power ratings, you go to here, sort, largest to smallest. And so you're going to see that Ohio State has the highest power rating by ESPN, calculated by ESPN. So let's keep it with that. So I'm going to go scroll right, and I'm going to go through each column and explain it. Afterwards, I'll show you the website where I got this data. So you have, let's do Ohio State, Big Ten, And October 7th, 2025, this is when I completed the file. So Big Ten is a conference, Ohio State. And so now we have the first grouping. Okay. And then this is from ESPN. Football Power Index. So what I did, when you look at the big picture view, is in the first row, some of the lettering is in red bold. That tells you that you're entering a major section. So there's 3 major sections. First section is Football Power Index from ESPN. The next section is Bill Connolly's numbers posted on ESPN, and then you got TeamRankings. All right, so now let's go column by column. So Football Power Index, ESPN, FPI, this is their power rating. It's based on points. So Ohio State is ranked number 1. And so basically what it says that on a neutral field, if Ohio State played Georgia, 24.9 minus 20.9, Ohio State would be favored by 4 points because they're 4 points better. The next column has their rank. So Ohio State has the number 1 power rating. So this is a summary number of the strength of that team, and it can be used to calculate point spreads because these are based on points on the field. So 24 points Ohio State minus 20.9. Georgia on a neutral field. Ohio State's 4 points better. Favorites always minus, so Ohio State minus 4. Home field advantage in football ranges between 3 and 4. So moving to the right here, ESPN also has efficiencies. They have a total efficiency, and then the ranking, and then they also break down efficiency by offense, defense, and special teams. ESPN also provides strength of record. So that means so far, this actually looks at the games that the team has played so far, looking at the strength of the opponent, their margin of victory. They calculate a strength of record. Strength of schedule ranking is how hard the teams were. And then we have the AP Top 25 here. So I think this is a good time to go to ESPN's website. So ESPN, if you go to rankings, they have the AP poll, SP plus rankings, which is created by Bill Connolly, and the Football Power Index. So Football Power Index. So as you can see here, they have FPI, and they list the Football Power Index. And at the bottom, they have a legend which explains all the terms, including Football Power Index. So the most important number here is actually FPI. That's a summary number. So, but if you look at FPI, then in the center, they actually have a tab. You click that and it gives you resume, and that's where you get strength of record. You also have strength of schedule and remaining strength of schedule. And they have a glossary at the bottom. And then they have a third column, efficiencies. So they have an overall efficiency, offense, defense, and special teams. Now this overall, if you take the offense plus defense plus special teams, it gives you the overall number. All right, so now let's go back to the spreadsheet. So that was the first grouping. The next grouping is numbers posted on ESPN, but written by Bill Connolly. So the way to get to that is you go to NCAAF, college football, rankings. SP plus. And then every Sunday, Bill Connolly updates his rankings. So this is Bill Connolly here. Bill Connolly was hired by ESPN in 2019, but he's been doing analytics since, let me see, probably like 2008. I've been following him for many, many years. I like his approach, his background's in data analytics. He goes deep into the numbers, and his methodology is very methodical, and it makes sense. So anyway, so ESPN also publishes his ratings, and these ratings here, the SP Plus ratings, are the similar idea to the FPI. So you can use either one, but the same idea here is Oregon 30.8 is their rating. So let's say they played Oklahoma 25.8. So 5 points difference, neutral field. Oregon is 30.8 minus 25.8. 5 points better is Oregon on a neutral field. The better team is the favorite, so the point spread is always negative for the better team, so it's Oregon minus 5. That's on a neutral field. Home field, 3 to 4 points, but let's say it's 3 points. Add 3, so that would be Oregon minus 8 at home. So Bill Connelly also breaks it down to offense, defense, special teams. And if you add up offense, defense, special teams, it gives you the overall SP Plus rating. He also tells you if a team has gone up and down in the rankings. So Notre Dame has gone up plus 10, Penn State minus 14 after losing to UCLA. Now the difference between rating and ranking is just how good are the teams with respect to the other teams out of 136. So from 1 to 136. The rating is the number that you actually use to calculate the point spreads. So let's go back to the spreadsheet here. So the spreadsheet has Bill Connelly, ESPN, SP Plus rankings. What I mean by that is if you see here, he has the names of the teams. This is straight from the ESPN website, but the way he likes to do it is he has first the rankings, the team name, and then their win-loss record. So Ohio State is number 2 based on his SP Plus power rating. So the ranking is number 2. They're 5-0. Oregon is number 1. They're 5-0. The next column here is the actual rating. 30.6 is Ohio State. Oregon is 30.8. And this is the number that you use to calculate point spreads. So moving to the right, there's a breakdown based on offense, defense, and special teams. And again, these 3 go into the overall power rating. And I also included the SP Plus ranking change. So the ESPN provides 2 different power ratings, FPI and Bill Connelly's SP Plus. So for the third source of power ratings is TeamRankings. So let's go to TeamRankings website. So TeamRankings was created by some Stanford graduates. They started in the year 2000, so 25 years, and they do a lot of different sports analytics. NFL, NBA, MLB, college football, and college basketball. They have a lot of statistics here you cannot find anywhere else. This is a very useful website. Okay, so they also have a power rating here. And then they call it their NCAA college football predictive ratings and rankings. So on this page, again, all the links are in the description box below and in the glossary. So you have the teams, and this is their power rating. And Ohio State is ranked number 1, 30.9. Let's say they played Texas, 10 points difference, so Texas is 20.9, 30 minus 20. So Ohio State is 10 points better on a neutral field than Texas. If Ohio State's playing at home, let's add 3 points. That's 10 plus 3, 13 points. Ohio State is the favorite. Ohio State minus 13. Texas is plus 13. Now if they played at Texas, it would be 10 minus 3, so Ohio State's advantage is decreased, so Ohio State's minus 7. Texas is plus 7. And they also explain their power ratings here. Now, if you look here, they put their home advantage of 2.6. But if you Google home field advantage in college football, you'll see a range between 3 and 4. Home field can be a very strong advantage in college football. Look at UCLA beating Penn State. That's an example. Also, they have ATS, which is against the point spread, against the point spread trends. So they'll show you here that, for example, there's two teams that have covered the point spread 5 times, Louisiana Tech and Utah State, which means if you bet these two teams, Louisiana Tech and Utah State, against the spread, I mean, you would have won every single one of those bets. That's 107. MOV is margin of victory, and ATS plus minus is the average point margin by which they covered the point spread. So Louisiana Tech, on average, is covering the point spread by 15 points. This is a very important statistic. On the flip side, you have teams at the bottom. For example, Penn State, SMU, and Sam Houston have not covered the point spread at all. If you bet on these teams, you would have lost every single one of those bets. And Sam Houston is minus 13.8. Penn State is minus 11.5. And that's an average for the whole season. So now let's go to the spreadsheet. So the spreadsheet, you got team rankings. Ohio State 5-0 has their win-loss records here. And this is the team rankings, power ratings. The ranking, power rankings. Scrolling over here. So this is the actual win-loss record. There we go. All right, so this is win-loss record. How many times did they win? Ohio State's won 5. They've lost 0. Win percentage. MOV is margin of victory. That's the average margin of victory, 32.4. Let's look at the glossary here. I define it. Glossary, MOV is margin of victory. ATS plus minus is the number of points that a team beats the spread on average. Then we have against the point spread, ATS, what percentage of time they covered. So the way to read it is Ohio State's covered the point spread 4 times. They've not covered 0 times, and this one here is a push. So the third number is a push. So let's say Ohio State's minus 7, and they win by exactly 7. That's a push. That's neither a win or a loss. And then you have ATS plus minus. And then those are all the columns on the spreadsheet. So what I'm going to do next is, so you can download the spreadsheet and the glossary. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to now work on, so the spreadsheet that I featured on this page has all 136 college football teams. So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to then group these teams based on the games and come up with a cheat sheet for this week. And then I'm also going to work on some NFL cheat sheets and spreadsheets also. So check out my channel for some additional postings this week. And again, what you want to do is when you get to the spreadsheet, you want to download it to your desktop if you want to make changes.